Individual rights are said to be the philosophical underpinnings of modern law. Are there any other such philosophies that we can use? Hello everyone, welcome to Right Views. Today I want to draw a distinction between the philosophical underpinnings of the Western legal system and the Indic system. So the Western legal system is now prevalent and operates in almost all countries across the world. This system is primarily based or arises from individual rights. Now, who are individuals? Individuals are actually, originally they were only men who held property, but as time grew, today we have every human being considered to be an individual. And what are the rights? Rights are basically the entitlements which are accepted or recognized. By whom? By the state or by the society. This is the fundamental underpinning of the Western legal system. Indic legal system is underpinned by your, that is self, duty to others. Now what is this others? Others actually can include anything, including the planet Earth, the trees, the animals, people, and of course can include and must include you. So what are these duties? The duties actually are interpreted based on two parameters. First is your relation to the other. If the other is superior to you, he is stronger than you, he is wiser than you, he has more knowledge and understanding of the world than you, then it is your duty to learn from that person. It is your duty to respect that person. If he is equal to you, then it is your duty to collaborate together and attend to your duties. If he is weak, or he needs help, or he needs assistance, or he is dependent on you, it is your duty to support him, to nurture him, to teach him, and so on. This is the way the duty changes based on your relationship with other. Now the second parameter in which the duty changes is by understanding the other. Is the other good or evil? Other person is said to be good if is beneficial to you, A, by its nature, like planet Earth or your parents, or he makes a choice to help you, so like your teacher, your mentor. And then there is a special kind of other person who deviates from his duty and ensures that you are benefited. This is a special other. Now there are corresponding evil others. So an evil other is generally the person who causes harm to you by his nature or by his choice. And there is a special kind of evil person who deviates from his duty to cause harm to you. Now what are these special kinds of good and special kinds of evil? Let's say an example I will give you is of a crocodile. In this village in India, this crocodile was part of this village near the river. It lived for a long time, and this river was frequented by children. Yet the crocodile avoided and almost never ate any children or any people. The crocodile would go to the other bank, and this is the story. And this crocodile recently died, and the villagers gave an exalted status to this crocodile because it has deviated from its nature to help the person. Now similarly, there is a special kind of evil person who deviates from his duty, he deviates from his nature to harm others. Like for example, a doctor who deliberately hurts his patient, a lawyer who cheats his client, a teacher who harasses his students. These are special kinds of evil people as per the Indic philosophy. Now, the philosophical difference between the Western system of law and the Indic system of law will manifest itself in multiple ways as we make laws and try to run the country in accordance with the Western concepts, but it does not align with our vision or our innate sense of justice which has been developed using the Indic concepts. How to reconcile this? What is the implication for this when it comes to law and order reform? We'll discuss in a separate video. But for example, in yesterday's judgment where Supreme Court said that the government is not doing its duty, it triggered in my mind this philosophical difference. In an Indic system, the Supreme Court would not be bound by the Constitution or any of this, but the Supreme Court would acquire a duty. Supreme Court would have a duty towards the country and towards the Constitution, and it would acquire a new duty if in fact government was not listening to the farmers and passing a law which was against the interest of farmers. Now, within the Western context which India follows today, this order of suspending the laws which were rightfully passed by Parliament was completely wrong. But considering the Indic concept, the Supreme Court may have felt that it had a duty to intervene. And going forward, we need to reconcile these philosophical differences and at least be alert and aware of these differences in which we think about laws and we perceive about justice. Thank you for watching, and do like and subscribe to this video and our channel. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and hopefully Parler. Join us for a long form interview and discussion on our podcast. The podcasts are also available on the YouTube channel itself. And of course, check out our new website. You will find some interesting blog posts there. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.